Peace, good morning. Since I have insomnia again tonight, I decided I would empty my thoughts on my channel. So, in recent events, as I've been watching the news from different states, Houston, New York, and Chicago mainly pops up on my recommendations on YouTube, the news channels. And all three of them simultaneously are going crazy as hell. Crime is spiking back up in New York City. It's going up significantly. They're starting to rob people again and snatch chains. I think it's a result of the pandemic. A lot of people losing their jobs. A lot of people getting used to that money that we were getting for free, that people were getting for free. I didn't get no damn money. But people were getting used to that and kind of spoiled. And now there's no resources. There's no way to get money unless you get a job. And things have changed as opposed to how things were prior to the pandemic. But as I look at the news, I wonder if our parents, I can't help but think like when we were younger, did our parents feel the way that us adults now are feeling? And I don't think so. I think it was significantly less worry because there was still some sort of moral fiber left. There's no moral fiber left here in where we are now today. There's no moral fiber. What I've noticed is that people that deserve the respect don't get respect. They only get respected if they fall into a certain category. Whereas before you had to earn respect. And if you earned it, people respected you. But now, you kind of like have to have a certain mentality to be respected. And that's not good. And the more I ponder on the division between the youth and the middle age group, who are supposed to be the teachers of the youth, I wonder if that was by design. Because what better way for children to be out of control than them not having any type of guidance or supervision? A prime example of that is what happened in Chicago with the Black Disciple Nation and the Gangster Nation. The Gangster Disciple Nation, pardon me. Prior to them locking up all of the older gang members that still had that moral fiber left in them, to a degree, they removed them strategically. I know for a fact that Larry Hoover was removed on purpose because when I did the numbers on Larry Hoover's his sentence, I found a code that they speak to each other with. They speak to each other in codes. They use numbers. They use certain words, etymology. Excuse me, guys. You guys need to look up etymology and understand this language that they gave us, because this wasn't our original language. We had different languages um, according to where we were at the time. But when they brought us here, they taught us English, which is the newest language in existence. It's the latest language in existence. It's not as old as the other languages. I'm not sure what the origins of the English language are, But I do know that certain words are coded to gather a certain vibration and energy. Now, that brings me to the way I've been looking at these children now that are out of control, children of the corn. A lot of you may not know about that movie, but sorry guys, my throat is a little bit sore. Um, in the movie The Children of the Corn, the theme was that the children all got rid of all the adults in the town and they took over and they all worshiped Satan, right? And there was one Isaac. Isaac was the main character. He was the boss. He was the leader of the children. And Malachi. Now, that was 1984. A lot of people wound up naming their child Malachi, which is almost damn near equivalent to naming your child Lucifer. So remember, in previous recordings, I told y'all about the vibration of people's names, how it carries a vibration and an energy. Well, what do you think what kind of energy do you think Malachi carried? Fast forward 25 years later, you actually have the youth calling themselves demons and being praised for being a demon as well. Now I'm watching the O Block scenario thing, and I saw someone say that O Block is now the #1 attraction in Chicago. For what? Let's be real here. So you mean to tell me that because they put that mural up there of King Von, who I can't deny was very talented, but he was involved in a lot of gang activity prior to him becoming a superstar. And he had a few bodies under his belt. So we're putting O Block and other areas of Chicago in the spotlight. When I say where, I mean in general, the youth, the population, the youthful population are now putting that area on a pedestal because they're known to be murderers. I want y'all to really understand what I'm saying here. So it went from us putting people on pedestals for being the baddest gangster on the streets, the biggest drug dealer, whatever the title is, to now they have taken it to the extreme now. I'm a demon. I'm the devil. Okay? I'm a grave digger. Because of our lack of power, living underneath this system, we look for power in other places that are not necessarily healthy for us as a group. And there's more of us that tend to resonate with wickedness rather than righteousness. Because when I was growing up, righteousness outweighed the wickedness. Now, wickedness outweighs the righteousness. And most children don't even know what righteous is. Now, I have to be fair in my assessment here because let's take Nipsey Hussle, former gang member, worked his way up, became a famous rapper, famous figure, and idol. He even had workshops where he was training people in his neighborhood how to get on computers and look for jobs and teaching them certain applications to use so that they can get a job. And also he had a workshop on the weekends teaching people about cryptocurrency. Now this is a street guy who had the time to reform because he was 33 years old when he was killed. So maybe he wouldn't have been the Nipsey he was when he left us if he was 25, 26 years old. So Nipsey tried to do good. He did. He was amazing. The way that he was being so young and understanding this system and how it hindered us and trying to make a difference, even buying up the real estate in Crenshaw because of gentrification. Building a store to bring up the property values in the area. He did. He's the most accomplished rapper I've come across so far. He's the most accomplished when it comes down to giving back to the community. And you could tell he was doing it from his heart. You know? So some people say it was an act. I don't know. I would say whatever his image was, whatever the image he had when he left us here was a beautiful image. It encompassed everything. Coming up in the streets, losing his friends and becoming successful and trying to give back to the community, you know, trying to be a good person, a righteous person. And then the other choice is you go get a job, you work, or you be a gangster. Right? So the kids looking at Nipsey now, the whole world saw Nipsey and who he was. He got killed. So what's the difference if you choose the streets and you get killed then if you try to do good? I'm trying to look at it from their point of view. What difference do it make? If I do good, I'm going to get killed. If I do wrong, I might get killed also. So what choices do I have? Well, it's not common for someone to be as accomplished as Nipsey was. So it's easier to just pick up a gun and be a star and get their power from the street life. And the street life with no rules and no moral fiber is like a ticking time bomb, about a stick of dynamite getting ready to go off. You see, because that image of being a murderer and being the baddest dude in the town, the one that everybody's afraid of, that false gratification, that false sense of power, which is not real, it's an illusion. Because as soon as your time is up, the most run dudes have on the streets, the average time they have is 5 to 10 years. And most don't make it to 10. But if you were an enemy of a group of people and you wanted to destroy them, wouldn't it be a good idea to turn the youth against their teachers? Against the people who have experienced things that can give back to them, whereas they don't have to experience it themselves? Because I always say, when daughters have fathers, there's less for them to learn on their own. They don't have to learn through experience because they're ahead of the game. Because their father was in their life and they understand about love with a male figure. They know when someone loves them. They know when someone's looking out for them because their father did that. It's just a more intimate relationship when a young girl grows up and becomes someone's wife or woman. But I've coined these troubled youth, and I had a conversation today with someone, and I've had this conversation many a day, that our generation dropped the ball. But I have to say it was a plan. But now we know, our generation should know now, And I think we should practice a little bit more patience with our youth because they're the future. And they have to get some type of education and understanding of life and righteousness in order to be righteous. But if they don't have nobody to go to, because everybody wants to be an OG or, still wants to live vicariously through the youth being a gangster, we're just going to drop the ball again. So I guess this is geared towards the middle age group that might be listening to me. Contribute as much as you can. If you have family members that's younger than you, I see some people use their platforms to try to reach the youth. Any way that you can reach the youth and instill some sort of righteousness, please do so. It's an important investment to our future and our children's futures. Because this is not the type of world we want our loved ones to live in. Peace and love.